wanted to come on and talk about different tools that have been helpful for me, during my mixed media practice. So I'm just gonna hop right in. The first thing that I'll start with is this bowl. So instead of having like jars like this or bigger ones, bigger jars, um, even like this for water. And these are perfectly fine. I still definitely use this one. Um, but I started out with the jars, but I mainly use this bowl now, and it's the dog bowl. And I saw another artist recommend getting a dog bowl because they have these rubber stoppers on the bottom. So when I'm like, you know, digging in my trying to clean my brush really hard because I can be rather rough. The bowl doesn't move around like the jar would. Um, and it's just a bigger, place for water. So I don't have to change it that often. So that's tool number one, a dog bowl for water. Tool number two, these little baby um spray bottles. I have some of the bigger spray bottles for my hair, but then I saw these little baby ones, and they came in like a pack of three, and I think it wasn't even $5 for a pack of three of these little baby um, spray bottles, and these are helpful because they don't take up a lot of space on my desk. The other thing that's helpful, this is my travel kit. Um, it fits, in my travel kit really easy. So like if I'm going out in the car or like at a coffee shop or somewhere and want to, use a wet medium, I can always have water and it fits really easily right in there. Um, my third recommendation will be a travel kit. And really, a travel kit is clearly just a place for you to be able to, collect all of your materials that you might want to use while you're out and about. And I recently bought this one. This is from a company called Everlane. Um, and it was pretty pricey. This was almost $50, but it has so many compartments in it. It's really compact. If I want to change the shape and make it smaller, you can make it smaller. This isn't marketed as a art bag or anything. I think this is marketed as just like, a travel bag, but it has all of these different pockets in there, um, and has space for you to be able to keep a lot of different things. And it has like a zip on the front. So this was my second one. My first one, is sorry y'all, I'm shaking y'all. My first one was just a regular like leather pencil case, and I still use this one just depending on like what bag I'm carrying and like what mood I'm in. Like if I'm going on a longer like travel trip, I would bring this one. And then like if I'm just, you know, want to carry a few pieces, I just use this. So this is my third recommendation for tools is to get some kind of bag. Okay. My fourth tool recommendation is this. It's called a brayer. And this one is by Speedball. And I don't remember how much this brayer cost. I think it was like either $10 or $12 or something like this. But I mainly use this for collage. And this helps with like laying down the images smoothly so that it doesn't get like any air bubbles in it. So like when you do collages, and it has those the paper has like the wrinkles in it and it gets air bubbles. This helps to eliminate that. So a brayer might be helpful for, other things that you need to, like roll down flat. But I mainly use this for collage. So that's tool number 4. Let's see. Okay. Tool 5 are different size clips, right? So when you are, well, me, when I need to hold like the paper down in my sketchbook, this isn't a good example because this sketchbook lays flat. But like when you want to lay your paper down, right? Sometimes you need a little baby clip, and then sometimes you need really big ones, right? So you want to get some clips of different sizes that would be helpful, yeah, when you need to clamp some paper. Okay. Next tool, pencil sharpeners. So all pencil sharpeners are not created equally. I have learned that. I'm gonna be honest. I initially started off with just using my eyeliner pencil sharpeners that um, I don't use anymore or that I don't like because I've, purchased some better eyeliner pencil sharpeners. So I started off using this one, and I just have it in these little clear containers, which is uh another tool, for y'all to get some of these little clear containers might be helpful, to store things in. And I know I'm like jumping around a little bit because I was talking about pencil sharpeners, but this is what, using these little containers, clear containers, can look like. But anyway, so I use this for my pencil shavings. And like if you are someone like me that also uses let's see, that also uses like woodless pencils, or even like neo colors or something like that. These are like Derwent ink tints. So like when you have the shavings and you may want to collect the shavings and keep the shavings for something, these clear containers might be super helpful for that. But for my desk, I primarily use like one of these for my regular color pencil shavings. And so I bought this KUM pencil sharpener. So this is really good for my small color pencils. And then I bought this one from Prismacolor. This is a really good pencil sharpener too. It has two barrels for sharpening. So you want to definitely try some different pencil sharpeners. You can use I use what I had until I could get something better. And I definitely see a difference. So you want to try different pencil sharpeners if you use color pencils, or things that need sharpening. Um, okay. The other tool, let's see, I think we're on like 6, 7. I kind of lost count. Um, In this little clear container, I have erasers. And I bought this, it was like a triple pack of erasers so that I could try them. I don't honestly use erasers a lot in my work. I'm more of an expressive, intuitive artist. And so I don't usually erase mistakes because I don't see it as a mistake. But when I do need an eraser, it's super helpful that I have like 3 different kinds. And so this one came with an extra soft, dust-free eraser. This one came with the kneaded eraser, and then this is just like a regular gum, gum eraser, like what you would see on the end of, a regular writing pencil. So yeah, I think I got this at, a art store, and it wasn't over $2, $2 or $3 for three. So you might want to look for a 3 pack of erasers to just have on hand. The next tool is definitely tape. This is just regular masking tape that's colored. And I don't use this to like tape off my pictures. It will absolutely tear your paper. But I use it for inside my sketchbook, like if I want to just tape a piece of paper in my sketchbook, or if I have like a sticky note that I want to make sure doesn't, fall out of my sketchbook. Like I'll use these. I have it up here, like on some of the, and I'll show you, like some of the art that I have hanging up. I'll tape it up here. But there's better tape that you can use to tape off your images, and I've had in one of my carts on like Blick or Jerry's, maybe even Amazon. But even though I don't purchase anything from Amazon, I just keep things in a cart. There is definitely some better tape, for specific artist tape for taping your images so that it doesn't tear your paper. So I would not recommend this for that, but for other like taping purposes, especially if you want to use it as like a decorative, piece in your images, you can, like, this is what I use, and then I just get it in different colors. Um, right? Okay, so this is like six, seven, eighth tool. The ninth tool that I'll show is a clock, a stopwatch. One of the things that I really like to do in my art practice are like time drawings. And I prefer, like, I personally found that having my stopwatch on my cell phone to do my time drawings was not helpful. Like I needed something external from my cell phone so that I wasn't looking at my cell phone and then getting distracted by, the pop-up messages if I look up at the time. So I wanted to get a little clock, a little stopwatch that was not on my cell phone so that when I look up at the time, because I'm going to glance at the time, I'm not getting distracted. By a notification or something. So this is just a regular 60-minute, little stopwatch. And I paid too much for this, but it's really cute because it's like rainbow and really pretty. And yeah, you definitely don't have to buy this because, like I said, I paid too much for it, but it's aesthetically pleasing to me, But you can definitely buy and find some different, cheaper options for an external stopwatch, if you want to do time readings and then maybe, like me, don't want that to be on your cell phone so that you're not glancing at your cell phone or getting distracted. Okay, I'm going to say that that's tool number 9. Okay. Let's see. Tool 10 is a pack of brushes. So I think I got this off of like Cheap Joe's or Jerry's or something. And I like to have just some cheap brushes that I can use. So like this brush I use for like my Mod Podge and gluing things down, But then like I have I have stencils. I have a stencil. I like to use stencils. So I thought that these sponge brushes, would be cool. I haven't used them with the sponge brushes. I usually end up just using my paintbrush, what I'm using to paint with, but I need to start using the sponge brush because I think it'll have a better effect with the stencil. Um, so yeah, you may want to buy just a pack of random like cheap brushes that you can use for different techniques. Um, yeah, or just to have, like I said, just some cheap brushes around, um, and to play with like different sizes as well. See what different kind of marks these types of bristles, can make. And I think this pack might have been like $9.99 or $8.99 or something. So, okay, so I think I said this was tip number 10. Um, Stencils is tool number 11. So this is a new addition to my mixed media kit. I wanted something easy that I could use to make marks. Like usually I'll just use something random to make marks, like I'll use the tops to little jars like this. I'll use like random, like I have another pair of scissors that I use, and like sometimes I'll just use, like the circles from the scissors. I also have here's another stencil. Speaking about circles, I also have this circle stencil as well because I use circles a lot in my work. So I bought this too. So, I think it's helpful to get different like stencils or what would you call, what's the word? Frames, like even squares. Squares are something, another shape that I draw out a lot. And so it will probably be helpful for me to get some square frames as well, like the circles, so that again, I know that squares and circles are shapes that I draw out a lot. And so it's easier for me if I have, a stencil so that it or a frame so that it makes it easier. And then, like I said, these stencils are kind of fun and funky, and so you may want to incorporate that as well into some of your art pieces. And this is an easy, consistent way to be able to do that. Another way to incorporate consistent pieces, and this I recently, sorry for the crinkle of the bag. I recently got these at recycling reusable art store. Out, in when I outside. But in addition to stencils, you can also use like stamps, right? Stamps are a fun, and still have the price tag on them because I just went to this art store. It's called Upcycle Arts in Charlotte. But these are what the stamps look like. And these are also fun to use as like a consistent piece in your artwork as well. So yeah, so this is like tools 11, right? Stamps, stencils, and then frames for shapes that you use all the time, like circles and squares. Okay. Um, is that everything? I showed the brayer. On the picture I had also Mod Podge. Um, this is also a tool that I use a lot for my mixed media because I do collage. I incorporate collage into my pieces too. And words and, images out of magazines and things like that. So there's different sizes to Mod Podge, and I like this um, because I feel like it sticks better than like regular glue. But you can also use, I think it's matte medium as well, for glue and collage. But right now, Mod Podge works pretty good for me, so I just keep using that. And I get the matte one. I don't get the glossy one. Um, so that's 211. Um, is that everything that I wanted to? I think the only other things that I also wanted to point out are like good exacto knives. So I have so many different. I'm trying not to. Okay. A good exacto knife is so important. And so this one is horrible. As you can see, it's moving around. The blade falls out. It's not safe. It didn't come with a cover. This one is safer. It still moves around. I don't like that this part is unstable. I don't know why it's like that. But it did come with a cover. But I don't like the way that this one feels in my hand. Right? And like these two have that same metal, you know, feel to it. This one is a better exacto knife. I would definitely recommend this one. It's safer. It comes with the cover. It's not like shaky and moving around and stuff, you know. Um, it's comfortable. It's kind of chunky too and has a place for you to hold it. So I really like this exacto knife better than these, right? And I think you see these a lot of the times. These are more affordable, right? But again, for me, not too safe and they don't feel good in my hand. And when I'm doing collages, like I could be cutting out, you know, in the collage world, they call it fussy cutting, cutting out really small pieces. And this handle it gets hard to hold and maneuver and manipulate. But this like rubber thick um shaft is better than this thin and metal one, right? So yeah, I like, and again, this has a better cover on it than like this one. It's not, the blade isn't shaking around on this one like it shakes on this one. And like I said, this one is a little bit more expensive. I This one wasn't, it wasn't $20, but it was definitely more expensive than these. Okay, so that's like two. I think I said 11 or 12. All right. This video is way longer than I had intended it to be, but we talked about, I think 12, it's probably more than that because I definitely lost count, like 12 different tools. Um, I'll be back for another video in this series that's unfolding about mixed media starter kit recommendations.